Hello and welcome. In this video, I'll show you how I painted the acrylic background on this page and then doodled over it. First, a word about this sketchbook. This is the Hahnemuehle D&S sketchbook. It's actually meant for pencil drawings. The reason I picked it up was that I was at the art supply store and I was looking for a sketchbook that had a lot of pages and was relatively inexpensive for the number of pages it had. And I wanted a sketchbook that would lay flat when you opened it. And I noticed that this sketchbook, no matter which page I opened it to, it laid flat because of the way that the pages are bound. The pages are relatively heavy. The paper is 140 GSM, which is a medium weight paper. Even though this paper is intended to be for pencil sketching, I thought I'd try it with acrylic paint and so on, and I'm really happy I did. So when I make an acrylic background, I usually place a piece of scrap paper underneath the paper to protect the pages underneath. It's not a perfect protection, but it works. I use very little paint and I spread it very thin on the paper. I don't like to have globs of paint on the paper, and I like to see how you get that dry brush effect, which looks kind of rough and kind of organic and creates an interesting texture. When you put a lot of paint, it tends to look solid, and in my opinion, it can be a little bit boring. I spread the paint around in all directions until there's really nothing left to be spread around. And you can leave the paper showing. You don't have to cover the whole page if you don't want to. In this page, I added only 3 colors. You can add as many colors or as few colors as you like. With this golden copper paint, I knew that if I would spread it too thin, it would lose its metallic effect. So I did spread it, but not too much. It literally takes a few minutes to prepare a page like this, and it takes another few minutes for this page to dry. And another thing I love about acrylic paint is that it's so easy to clean the brushes. The brush I used has bristles that aren't too soft, and that helps create that dry brush effect. After I prepared the background, I started doodling over it with an 0.5 technical pen, and this proved difficult. The pen kept clogging because of the tiny particles of paint that it would pick up from the paper. So I switched to a broader nib. This is the 1mm technical pen, Rotring Isograph. Since the nib is wider, it doesn't clog as readily as the smaller nib. I just kept building up this doodle using simple shapes, scallops, dots, lines, ladder shapes, triangles, zigzags, and so on. One thing I love about having a colorful background, at least from my experience, I feel that when you work on the same background, drawing after drawing, your brain sort of gets stuck in one configuration, so to speak. When you have a different colored background or a different texture of paper or a different color of paper, it sort of affects you and it sort of takes your brain to new places and helps you try different things. And I also just like the thought that it doesn't matter what paper I have, I can make it any color I want if I just layer on some acrylic paint over it. So even though the doodle is in black, it ends up being colorful due to the background, and I like that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and you're welcome to share this video with your friends if you think they'll enjoy watching. And if you haven't subscribed already to my channel, consider doing so, and I will see you next time.